Hey guys, this is going to be day 2 of the Bassmaster Open on Sam Rayburn. Pretty much game plan going into day 2 was catch 15 pounds. Day 1, I was sitting in 5th place with 18.3, and I was pretty positive that 15 pounds right around there would put me into the cut into day 3. So, pretty much from what I learned about this bite on this swim jig on day 1 was that I needed wind and a good grass line. That was the two huge key factors to this working. If you noticed in day 1, the wind kind of like died down around 1 o'clock and my bite shut off. And so day 2, it was supposed to be windy again and it's supposed to pick up throughout the day. So going out in the morning, pretty much I knew from experience that I was going to have to change. You can't go back to the same area and expect to have a great day in these multi-day events. It's like just something you learn over time. It doesn't matter how good it feels and how much your gut's telling you to just go there and just fish that area and forget everything else. So on day 2, I decided I was just going to go down the lake and I was going to look for a good grass line with wind blowing straight in on it. So that was the first thing I did. I went out and just kind of cruised down the lake, and the first good grass line I saw, I stopped. I think maybe like my 3rd cast, once I got on it, caught a 3-pounder. And then shortly after that, caught like a 3.5-pounder. So I'll show you that, guys, that part. I'll explain a little bit more here in a little bit, but we'll show you that footage and then I'll talk more after that. So stay tuned.
153 Joe McCluskey. See Joe and Mark Carter right behind the G. Loomis right behind you.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
All right, so after I fished that area pretty quick, I caught a 3-pounder, 3.5-pounder, was already well on my way to what I needed. I just needed, 15 pounds. And my first 2 fish were the exact size that I needed, a 3 and a 3.5. So at that point, I actually had one fish that didn't have to be 3 pounds. And if I caught a big one past that point, then it was really going to help things. So pretty much next, I was like, okay, so I'm going to go just hit that area that I hit on day 1. I knew that I'd literally made one pass through a few areas on it on day 1 and caught like 18 pounds. So I was like, I'm just going to go back there, see if I can get a big bite out of there, or if I can fill my limit real quick. And if they're biting really, really good, I might just spend the rest of my morning there and see if I can get my way up to 15 pounds. So pretty much ran there, caught one keeper, and then the next bite was a giant, and I lost it. I didn't even include it in the video. You can't really see anything. I only had it on for a few seconds. I just know that it was huge. Possibly the size of the one that I caught on day 1. It was big, but I was fishing that jig on the outside edge of the grass, which if they ran out, I was fine. But if they ran straight into the grass, it was going to be really, really tough to land him out there. I knew that, and that's what happened. I hooked onto a giant, and he went the wrong way. He ran right into the thick hydrilla, and he came off. But I'll show you guys all the video from the rest of the day here. I will say that I caught like 30 fish or so that day, every bit of that. And I'm not going to include every single catch in the video, but I'm just going to kind of include all the important coals and stuff that I made. But stay tuned. I'll show you all this stuff, and then I'll talk a little bit more after that.
That's it? Yeah. I keep having little ones take it. I haven't had one other than that one actually take it.
It's probably one of the sorriest chatterback bites I've ever had. Digging?
No, that's 4. Should be a limit. Should be a check, really. If that big one would be in here, it would be.
What? You're waxing my eyes.
What?
Waxing.
Oh. I don't know if this is going to be my keeper. You told me about that one going up. I was loading up and starting the big motor.
Out the way. Oh man, that was bigger than that.
That might be a top 10 right there.
We'll spin it back quick enough to get it out here.
I thought he was big. And then he came back and got it again, like 10 feet out from where I set the hook. I was like, I'm just gonna hold it up from that direction. That stunk. I didn't even think it was a bite at first. I don't know if it will or not. Well, he was running sideways. I thought he was bigger than that at first. Then I saw him back by the power pole and I was like, ah. All right, so that was the point kind of in the video after that last catch that I was talking about. That was at about 1 o'clock. I actually didn't have to check until like 5 o'clock that day, but I felt like I had at least close to what I needed, but I also felt like I had kind of got everything I could get out of that area. I made the last coal and I weighed my smallest fish. My smallest fish was 235, and I knew I had one that was like 3, one to 3.5, and kind of all of them were right around that area. So I knew I didn't have 15 pounds, but I had close, which was possibly enough to make the top 10. So I decided to make a move and, excuse me, decided to make a move down the lake and start fishing some new areas. And it didn't happen the rest of the day for me. I lost one good one. Well, really just caught a bunch of fish that really wouldn't help me, and go back into weigh in, and I ended up with, I think, 13.8, something right around there, which ended up being enough not only to get me in the top 10, but I moved up to 3rd place. So I actually moved up places with less than what I thought I needed, which I knew that I was probably overshooting it just a little bit. But obviously the brush pile fish didn't bite for everybody very good that day. There was one dude weighed in like 30 pounds. So he obviously jumped way up in the standings. I think he jumped from like way down to 1st place. It was like he weighed in 5 pounds on day 1 and then like 31 on day 2. But the thing that I was talking about that happened, that I knew that things were going to change drastically on day 3, was at about that 1 o'clock time, the same time that they died the day before, I started kind of panning my live scope out and off the grass lines, and I saw them out there roaming. Like, it was the same thing in that area, and every time I moved, I could see them. It was like I was watching them swimming out of the grass, like just leaving. and the grass bite kind of died really quick. It was, like I said the day before, it was like a light switch turned off. It was just, it wasn't right. We had that warm, windy day, and I knew things were changing. I knew I had my work cut out for me on day 3. I actually caught a couple small ones on a jerk bait, just throwing it way out off the bank, just kind of all over those flats that I saw those fish out there roaming on. So day 3, pretty much, I got nothing to lose. Worst I can fall to is 10th place, and I was just gonna leave it all out there and hopefully make some good decisions, because I knew that there was a very, 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 very big possibility that my swim jig bite was gonna be completely gone that day, like completely gone. So next video will be day 3, and you can see what kind of decisions I made and what happened. It was a pretty interesting day, so stay tuned for the video. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and subscribe to the channel.